I'm joined today by Barry Stevenson, Chief Executive of Albemarle Bond. Thank you so much for your time today. How do you attract and retain the best people in your organisation?
Well, the first thing to do is obviously to make sure that we've got a team of people that can work together. So when I'm putting together a team, I'm looking for talent, but I'm also looking for chemistry. So I look to get people who are expert specialists at what they do, but at the same time can make a contribution in a more sort of general way across the executive team.
What are the key challenges facing your organisation?
One of my biggest challenges is to make sure that we continue to grow whilst deciding which of the many opportunities that we have as a business we're going to take.
In your opinion, what are the most important skills needed for a good leader?
So for me it would be very much about sort of walking the talk, being a visionary, and then making sure that you've got the right team in place, the right balance within that team to enable you to achieve that goal.
As Chief Executive of your organisation, what lessons have you learned?
Never underestimate what can be achieved. And I fundamentally believe that if you aim low, you will achieve low.
What do you envisage will be the most important factors to focus on in the next few years to ensure the success of your business?
We will only be as good as the people that we've got working for us. And inevitably, as a business becomes bigger, whilst in some ways it's easier to attract people, maintaining the quality is more difficult because you've got just simply more numbers, and it's easy to focus on quantity rather than quality.
In your career, what's the best piece of advice you've been given?
The customer pays your wages. Never forget that. And I don't. I really do believe that ultimately the person that comes into my shops and completes a transaction successfully ultimately ends up paying my wages.
Would you recommend the use of interim executives to other chief executives?
I think you'd have to be very clear about what your goals and objectives are, and I don't think it's going to be a blanket sort of recommendation. I think there are always going to be circumstances where finding a long-term replacement for an individual or moving people from somewhere else in the organisation isn't the optimum result, and having the flexibility to go out into the market to get somebody who's got exactly the skills that you need in a budget that you can afford, and bring that person into the organisation with sort of no strings attached, no sort of long-term costs associated with it, can be extremely beneficial to the organisation.
Describe your experience of working with Hemming Robeson.
The brief that I gave was very well interpreted. They listened to what I had to say, they asked a lot of the questions that enriched the brief, and then they played it back to me, and I felt very quickly they got it. They got the organisation, they got the way that we worked, and they got the brief about the type of person that we needed. And what I then found is that when the candidates shortlist came through, there was a very good match straight away. And from my point of view, that was really important because I don't have a lot of time to interview people just for the sake of it.